Step 1, read the whole problem before doing anything else. Let's move on to step 2, find the given. So I think we have one here. Male fish in the tank is 5 more than 3 times. Number of females. Given information number 1. Do you see another one here? Yep, you guessed it. Total number of fish is 73. So we have another piece of information. Let's call it number 2. What about how many of each sex are in the tank? That's not information, right? That's something we're trying to find, something we don't know, right? So that brings us to step 3, identify the unknowns. Well, before we do that, let's get some momentum here and check off our other steps. Feels good, doesn't it? So I might have already given it away, but what do you think the unknown or unknowns here are? How many of each sex in the tank, right? So in other words, how many males and how many females, right? So we're done. We identified in this word problem what we're looking for. Okay, next step. A let statement is just like saying, let's let a variable represent something, like something we're trying to find, right? We have male and we have female that we're looking for. So what should we choose? I'll give you a hint. It's often best to pick the simplest approach first. So what might be simpler, to use a variable to find male or to find female first? So let's go back through our givens. We have male fish in the tank is 5 more than 3 times the number of females, and we have total number of fish is 73. So for given number 1, it sounds like males is a bit more of a complicated calculation because it says 5 more than 3 times females. Maybe the simplest approach is to let our variable x equal the number of female fish. And then we should be able to write an expression for males using the same variable, and then eventually combine those all together into one equation. Okay, so this is female. Female is x. So then what is male? So does anyone remember more than? So males are going to be 5 more than. And what other keywords do we have here? More than 3 times. 3 times, that's pretty easy, right? 3 times the number of females. But what is the number of females? It's just x, right? So 3 times the number of females is really 3 times x. Okay, so let's read back through this. Does this make sense? Male fish in the tank is 5 more than 3 times the number of females, which is x, right? Okay, so for step 3, we have our let statement, but we also have an expression for males here. So extra credit a little bit on step 4. Okay, now we might have enough information here to come up with an equation, which is step 4. Let's give it a shot. So how do we get to an equation? Well, we have used given information 1, right? So let's try to use all the information that we're given here, right? So how can we use given information part 2 to help us come up with an equation? So total number of fish means what? It means males and females, right? So doesn't that mean males plus females equals a total of 73? Right? Okay. Now, but we already have males and females defined in terms of our variable x. So now we can plug those in and come up with an equation, right? So what is male actually? Number of males. It's 3x plus 5, right? So we can substitute For male, it's the same thing as 3x plus 5, right? And females, what's females? It's just x, right? Because that's what we chose x to represent. All right. So if we have males plus females, we should get 73, right? In total. Okay, and this is an equation. Okay, maybe we can rewrite the equation here a little cleaner. Something called combine like terms, right? So like things are the x's, right? 3x's and x is the same thing as 1x, right? So 3x's plus 1x is 4x's. Bring down the plus 5. And we have 4x plus 5 equals 73. Now what? We want to get x by itself, right? So to cancel out a plus 5, let's do a minus 5 to get this out of here and get our x by itself, right? Because that's eventually what we want to do, is get x all by itself. So you can check my math here, but 73 minus 5 is 68, right? Okay. And then the whole thing, bring down the 4x on the left-hand side, because this is just 0, plus 5 and minus 5 is 0, so got nothing left over here but the 4x. Okay, so we have 4 times x equals 68. So to undo that, just like plus and minus are opposites, what's the opposite of multiplication? Division, right? So to get x by itself, let's divide both sides by 4. 4's cancel out, and we're left with x equals, what's that, 17? So we solved the equation, but in this case, not only do we need to find females, we also need to find the number of males. But we know what the number of males is, right? It's 3x plus 5. So we already know x, so all we have to do is plug in. X is 17, so we have 3 times 17 plus 5. What is 3 times 17? Again, check my math, but I'm getting 51. 51 plus 5 equal to 56. And what is this number 56? It is number of male fish, right? Okay, so we have now solved for both of our unknowns. We solved our equation plus a little extra credit. So let's celebrate. Check off that step. So check your answer. What does that mean? Well, everybody makes mistakes, right? Even teachers. Well, the total number of fish is 73, right? So doesn't that mean our males plus females should add up to 73? 56 males plus 17 female fish. Well, that checks out, right? So celebrate another win. All right, so what is our conclusion? Doesn't hurt to have a clear, informative answer on your homework and tests, right? Final win, final win. Check it off in that color. Okay, if you found this video helpful, please consider sharing it with someone else you think might benefit. Drop a comment down below if there are other videos that you'd like to see me make that you think might be helpful. And feel free to ask any questions that you have about today's math problem. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.